Hello everyone, and welcome to a special HoddyTalk. Today is a gorgeous day to be selling real estate, from the Outer Banks of North Carolina to Ann Arbor, Michigan, to the lakes of Finger Lakes of New York. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous day. So I want everybody to think about making that one more call and that one more showing today. I want to talk about a few things because this is the year of the listing. And I want to highlight a couple things that I just read recently in the newspaper, things we've been talking about for the last 4 or 5 months. One, and this little sidelight thing, we talked about making sure your listings online are updated. The listings are showing well, the right pictures are in there. And I pulled I'm reading the New York Times on Sunday, and they featured 6 houses that have been on the market 180 days or longer. And so these houses were featured of why they haven't sold and what can be done to make them sell. Well, I noticed 2 out of the 6 pictures of these homes still had snow on the picture, which means the writer for the New York Times took the internet, looked up the houses, and saw there was snow. So I hope everybody's gotten back to their pictures and we don't have any more snow pictures. So everybody double check yours today, as well as making other changes. Another thing I read this morning, which we talked about 2 months ago, was the amount of rental properties that are on the market right now that are for lease that could be sold. And this is an article in today's Wall Street Journal saying the hundreds and thousands and millions of houses that were bought during the recessionary times and are still rented today, high-end houses in nice neighborhoods throughout every place, and one of the fastest growing cities for new rental properties being bought by investors was Syracuse, New York. So these are great properties to go after and try to list and sell today. To have everything, every time you see a house or a building for rent, it means it's for sale also. But today I really want to get into a very important subject, and that is the for sale by owner. The for sale by owner is our largest competitor, without question. There's more for sale by owners out there than any other real estate competitor, any of our markets we compete with. So I want to just go through real quickly what we should do every day as a realtor to track these. Okay, every day you should wake up. One of the first things you should do is go online onto the for sale by owner websites, the Trulia's, everybody else who carries for sale by owners, and look and see if there's any new for sale by owners advertised online today. Okay, in your market area. Then look up, when you see one, look up the address, go to the county records and look up the owner's name. Usually you can track the phone number. It's usually on the ad anyways on the internet, the phone number. So you got to just track the owner's name, et cetera, et cetera. Then you look, while you're on the county line, look up everything you can find out about the house, the square footage, the tax assessment, et cetera, et cetera. The next thing you do is you drive and you go past that home. You go past the property, drive the neighborhood, come back to the office, look up all the data around that house and that neighborhood as to what house has been selling for, what they've been asking, what's for sale right now. So get as much data as you can as most recent market activity. And you'll probably notice that the last house in that street sold for probably the most money that street's ever sold for. After you do all that, you go back and you then call the homeowner. You call that homeowner and say that you heard they might be thinking about selling, okay? You know they're thinking about selling. Either had a for sale sign in the front yard or you saw some ad placed in some newspaper or internet site. But you say you heard from your customers that house might be for sale. Now, when you're talking to that seller, what you want to try to do is highlight all of the activity that's happened in the neighborhood for sale, okay? Highlight the houses that have been sold. Let them know how much you know about the marketplace. Let them know how much you know about their house. And don't discuss on the phone about them listing, because you're never going to list a house on the phone. You've got to be there in person. But what you want to do in that first call is you want to try to persuade them to let you come over and take a look at the house, okay? Take a look at the house. Do not take exclusive listing. Don't talk about exclusive listing, but you want to take a look at the house. So you try to get an appointment for the next couple days to go look at the home, okay? If you don't get an appointment on the first day, send them an immediate letter, not an email, not a card. Send them a letter thanking them for talking to you with a Howard Hanna listing pack of materials of things we can do for them, okay? And also mention some of the houses that we've been involved with selling. You may not have been, but we've been involved in most streets in the 8 states that we're on. we know what's going on in that neighborhood. So someone from Howard Hanna was involved in the sale. So weave is an operative word. Call them back the next week. Call them back 3 days later, 4 days later, or on that first call, get the appointment to go look at the house, okay? Then preparation for that first appointment to go look at the house. Be prepared with all of your listing information. Even if they said to you, I have no intention of listing, you can come over and take a look at the house, and maybe if you got a buyer, I'll let you show it, okay? But still bring all of your materials. Then take a look at the house. View the house with the seller going with you. And I like to take 2 to 3 minutes in each room. Each room, now I know it's hard from an 8x8 bedroom to be looking for 3 minutes, but you want to get conversation. You want to learn and meet and understand that seller. You want to get something in common with that seller other than listing their house. You want to get something knowledgeable, some activity they're involved in, something their kids involved with, schools, plays, anything that you can create, some relationship building. If you look at the house, I like to look at the basement last, okay? Go into lower level last, come back upstairs, and you're almost automatically in the kitchen, okay? That's where you sit down and you start asking them some questions about the house. Do they have a copy of the deed? Do they have a most recent survey, okay? Did they do a disclosure statement? Ask them these kind of questions, and most likely they don't have answers for them, okay? Most likely they'll say to you, well, sit down, let me see if I can find the survey we had. Let me see if I can find the deed we had. You sit down, and then that's your office. That's your office to get to know them even better. When they come back with the deed or a survey or something, you sit down, you start talking about the house, and you say to them, you start talking about price, okay? And in today's market, you'd be very, very aggressive about the price. Be very aggressive about the price. Give the high watermark sale prices. Then you start talking, you say the question, you say, have you ever thought about putting the home into the model list for sale, where you get much greater exposure? And I'll tell you, 99 out of 100 people will say, yes, we've thought about it, but we don't want to try to sell it ourselves, okay? Then you start talking about some of the programs, some of the unique programs that we have, some of the ways that we market, whether it's TV, whether it's 100% money back guarantee, whether it's the best website exposure in the entire market area, whether it's our market share, whether it's our 100% money back guarantee, whatever the program we have, our home warranty program. You can talk about so many things we have to offer, from relocation to apartment dwellers trade-in program to buy before you sell. We've got so many great programs that you can talk to them about that they have no idea even exist, and they have no idea how they can offer it themselves to maximize their value. I always talk about maximizing their value, At that point in time, hopefully you got their attention. Hopefully you start talking, and you start talking about why they should list to maximize value. Keep going back to that. You want to maximize value. It's the number one thing. Every seller I've ever been in a house wants to do two things. They want to get the maximum price in the shortest period of time. And that's what you can do for them. That's what you can do for them that they cannot do themselves. Now, if you don't get that first listing appointment, when you don't get the listing in the first appointment, you keep in touch with them. You keep calling them. You keep getting feedback from them, okay? And you'll be surprised if you don't get it on the first time. And I usually get them on the first time. I'm there to get the listing that first day. But if you don't get the listing on the first time, if you stay in touch with them, the other competitors will not stay in touch with them. If you don't get an appointment on the first call, stay in touch with them, because the other competitors will not stay in touch with them. They will not follow up. I will tell you this, for sale by owners is the greatest thing in the world to build your listing base. It's the easiest thing to build your listing base. I made a whole career out of it myself working for sale by owners. And if I could get for sale by owners to sign with me in whatever the year it was, when I was 18 and 19 years old, you, the most experienced, most knowledgeable real estate agent in America, coupled with the biggest, largest real estate company in the whole country, can get that listing. So good luck, and sell, sell, sell.